Whitney got parent trapped, and of course, our girl Sondi got a little cold feet. It's your boy Laughs. I made looking cute, looking clean, looking sexy, and of course, I'm here with the best in the Midwest, the one and only Uniqo Williams. How you doing today, Uniqo?
That's me, and I feel just fine, just fine, just fine. Uh, just like these fine women on this show, man. Run the world. I'm telling y'all, I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to push it the best I can. I'm using my Twitter blue and everything, man. Stars, what's going on, man? What's going on?
It's Run the World, episode 204, season 2, episode 4. My new therapist says on Stars. So shout out to them. Just make sure you give them a shout out. It is a pretty good show. But I get it. Some people might not like the premise. And of course, Stars didn't promote it much. They do like they did with Rap, in which I'm like, okay, nobody knows about this show. Y'all just put it on the front cover and be like, hey, this show about women power. So I get it. We're going to get into the review right after the intro. We're gonna start out with one of them. We're gonna start off with Renee go to Whitney. Whitney's is real short, and then we're gonna go in there Sunday. Renee got Preston. Shout out to my guy Preston. She got him tricking. He bringing in the beans. She goes to a private plane. You want to go to Miami or Cuba, and she kind of feeling them. And they all got they got this new therapist lady because of course Rosie O'Donnell is no longer there because I don't think she could afford her anymore. So Barb on a cannabis shop. So shout out to Maxine Shaw.
Yeah,
But
every day, every episode, she never ceases to amaze me.
so what? I don't think they could keep forwarding the Rose O'Donnell, so she ain't there. But Renee got this, but she's feeling uncomfortable because she's not quite over her ex-husband, and he's coming in, but she really likes him. She tells the therapist all about all the things he do, and it's supposed to be just a casual thing. Therapist tells her, "Listen, listen, just don't you really like to do? Don't just let him know what's going on because this is crazy." And the reason she feeling uncomfortable because my dude's like, I've been here 3 days. I know where the glass is at. She like, what the fuck? My man was a little comfortable, Joe. I ain't gonna lie. That nigga was just going in the kitchen. That nigga just walked
Why
in the
would you?
house.
Would you? Wait, whoa! You not going to ask for some water?
He asked me, he went and got it. Yo, shout out to Renee and them shorts though.
Yeah, them was crazy. Yeah,
She
yeah,
was
them was
going to the
crazy.
Yankees game. She said, I'm gonna back that up for the Yankees ticket. I said, oh, shout out to Renee and them shorts. But that's basically the story of Renee in this episode. She was going through a journey of figuring out how to am I over my ex-husband? Because that's the whole episode is about the therapist actually giving them actual, like, instead of just listening, giving them actual advice and telling them, hey, listen, y'all don't want what y'all want. How y'all gonna handle this? And Renee's was, you like to do, but you ain't over your ex, so you gotta establish your boundaries, or it's just you gonna miss out on a good thing with this dude that you kind of like, and you're gonna regret it because you're gonna get uncomfortable and just ghost him. Because she did ghost him on that Yankees game. Like, oh, me and my girl are going out. She didn't have nothing to go out with them. Shout out to them shorts. I didn't take a picture today, but I should.
Yeah, she showed out. She's definitely trying to be. She's definitely trying to be the star of the show, but she just is something about her that's not letting her be, and or not even her, but it's just the other dynamic of the other girls. Like even Whitney's not even. I think it's Sondi's show right now. I think she has the most valuable story at this point. Like,
Yeah. Let's get into Whitney because, like, Whitney was a very short part of this episode. She got parent trapped. She had to meet Ola again. Shout out to Ola for finally coming back after a few episodes gone. She got parent trapped. She's the pastor, like, listen, I was supposed to marry y'all, but it ruined. So I just want to make sure y'all got it. And he went and told Ola, you should forgive him because the Bible said, Ola, like, no. And then Whitney hit him with this line, Joe, that made me upset. You expected me to be perfect. No, I expect you not to cheat. That's a difference.
yeah, like I mean, they was really getting into like she. I mean, she was tripping about the like, it was the fact that he didn't try. He didn't want to try and make things right. But man, that's the most devastating thing that can happen. Your woman cheat on you days before your wedding. That man, dudes will be the girlfriend, she slip up, whatever, stuff like that. Me personally, if I know about it, ain't no trying. Like if you my
You
girl,
remember?
I'm
You
not
remember?
doing that. But
You
this
remember?
is big.
You remember when we talked about it a few weeks ago? Just in case somebody didn't see it, when we discussed that. Oh, if it was 2 years ago and we've been dating 4 years, we might have had a little dry period where our relationship wasn't going good, and then 2 years later, I'm like, oh, eh, it was.
I don't know. I ain't good with that. I ain't good with secrets. I don't like when somebody tell me, "Hey, while we was doing this, I just want you to know I was doing this. I was trying to get out of this situation." Or
But if I
I
think back and I can see where it could happen, I'm more forgiving. Like, and that's forgiving. Whereas I'm just, if
yeah,
you do it right before the wedding and I'm thinking we good,
I can't. That was one secret that she just really could have took to her grave.
you could have told me you could have lied to me and said, yo, 2 years ago. And not only that, it was with the community. That's crazy. And I was with dude on that day too. that was what day was this? Wait. You talking about with who?
When I was watching the game, and he was look. And matter of fact,
You don't know this by the way, but it's still
but when I think back on the time when I actually met dude at the Eagles game, we was all looking at somebody else's ass, another girl's ass. So my girl was literally just some ass to you.
well he is
That's really
slick.
gotta hurt.
And then all the friends had sex with him too. So it's like, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
like what? Y'all just passing around this one dude while somebody caring for you and working and being a doctor? Which
But
Maxine Shaw, she couldn't wait to say that when she said, "Man, I know it's kind of scary that you let a handsome doctor back into the dating pool, but you can take a brave woman to do that."
yeah, but
Ugly,
listen, all
but
I'm saying is, listen, at least be with 2 years ago with the dude that just like when you were vulnerable came and whispered sweet nothing to you, not just the dude that just every girl down at the club.
yeah, Renee said it. Yeah, I invited him. I was thinking about, shoot, let's see what it's talking about.
Listen, that's
So
all I'm saying. Like Whitney story is, I'm like, I don't think you winning this story, though. This is
I think they got a bad group of friends now that I think about it. Like they give each other terrible advice.
shout out to the new therapist because she actually setting people straight. Because I feel like everybody's sort of getting their life together on this new therapist. Like, hey, listen, you doing dumb
Played
shit.
by Summer Cree again, or Cree Summer.
Yeah, I think that's her name. Let's get to the main one of the story because this was her episode. Sondi starts off with a podcast in which she has this what she calls fake Ann Coulter, and she's talking about black people need to do this and that, and she's like, "My brother, you knew what you was doing. What did you get out of this?" I forgot to do name, didn't care.
Yeah,
What did you get out of this? He was like, "What you mean? I'm trying to have a discussion." Which, by the way, I hate this. I hate when people do this. Oh, we need both sides heard. It's perfect balance. I'm like, no. If the other side is racist, you hate me for no reason. That's a dumb. I don't. Why would I have a discussion with a person that hate me because of my skin color? That is insane.
you
Like,
do it
what?
for content, so everybody can hear how dumb you sound.
Yeah, and that's what he did it for. And she called him out on it. And then even the white girl like, you did just do this for content. And then he looked bad, and she came out. And she was like, she had an interview with somebody that saw the podcast. She got all the views, and that's what happened when you start getting the views. And Joe, they start getting, I'm feeling myself. I killed that shit. You know what I'm saying? I shoot Sunday like I'm doing interviews now. I felt powerful when I was on that podcast.
I ain't
But
gonna lie. The last about 3-4 months, I've been getting kind of the big head. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, you see them K's next to them numbers, bruh. You start saying, "Hold on, I might be that nigga somewhere down the line." Now, what's hold on? People start looking less cute to you. But we'll leave that alone.
yeah, Matthew
You
got
might because you feel they start thinking about if I did do it that way, I might feel stuck
yeah.
and not do what I really can be doing, which I believe there's a segue into what we're saying about Sondi.
Yeah. She's having the interview and Matthew pull up. And the woman know Matthew, he has like research papers. She's a researcher interview. who talk about black issues. He wrote a Black Emancipation cover, and she was like, "Oh, but you did that," and she was like, "She's a good mother to my child," and she was like, "No, I'm not technically the mother of your child." He was like, "Yeah, you like the mother figure to my daughter. You've been here," and she was like, "No, I'm not," because she been feeling since the mother's been back. She even told the therapist that I feel like I'm left out, and that now I can see the difference because our whole thing was Amari. Like me being that mother figure was, I felt like our connection, and apparently Matthew didn't feel that way because he's like, "Yo, we good, ain't we?" Which is, I think, is also very unfair to Matthew. That my man is like, he's like, "Oh, I didn't know," because she is giving off no sense that they have a problem right now, and my man, to the point we're gonna talk about in a minute. But I said the idea of having someone new having to reveal himself to yourself to after you did in the first place. That's one line they said. Because Matthew's getting tenure, so he's gonna be the professor for basically ever now. He's like a tenured professor.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know if it's my life. I'm kind of feeling this podcast thing. I don't know if I want to be in a classroom for the rest of my life. Which black people do, by the way. You start getting a few thousand a day. Like, nigga, I'm quitting school.
Bruh.
I'm
When
popping.
I got that management job at Journey Shoe Store, shout out to them. Man, I quit going to class like a mug.
That's what I'm saying. And
So what am I going to math class for? I don't understand. I'm not about to ever use a formula for anything. I just need to know how to add, subtract, and divide.
but I do want to go back to this one little point. Whitney kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
admitted
yeah.
that. Whitney kind of did admit she was trying to blow up the wedding to the therapy.
Yeah.
She was like, why did you tell him? She was like, because I felt bad. She like, did you really? Right before the wedding, you had to tell him this? And she was like, did you want it not to happen because you were scared? And she was like, maybe. I'm like, yeah. Because if y'all remember from the first season, if y'all watched the show, she was actively doing work and not wanting to be under him. She was like, oh, I got this job. And she would just skip out on all his events. Like, oh, I got my family over. She'll skip it.
Yep.
And my dude was just cool with like, oh, I'll make up for you. I'll do this. Oh, I'm gonna cover for you so you can get here later or something. And she'll just go to the club after still, and he's still covering for her. If you look back at it like that, Joe, we didn't even bring this up because I didn't think about it. So shout out to the therapist for actually bringing it up, and shout out to the writer for actually making this a point. She kind of was trying to like throw it. Like, if you don't meet my family a couple times, you ain't never met my family. You just avoid us every time. I'm like, do you really like me? So her blowing it up on purpose kind of makes sense when you think about it after all this time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I'm noticing that they are interjecting the African Americanized family into a lot of these black shows. Like it's always a Nigerian, it's always a South African, it's always that, and that they became Americanized, but they still have the old ways, the back home ways. They're doing a lot of that, and they're like the pressure. He has to do this for the family, and pressure's her. Like the pressure's on him, so he in turn has to put the pressure on her. Man, I just want to say this. I think that they are doing too much when it comes to like showing, like, is it that bad, y'all? Is it that bad for Americanized African kids, parents who grew up in Nigeria or something like that and come and live in Oakland? They come and live in Atlanta. Is it really like that? Or at some point can you just be like, man, listen, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. She don't want to do that. Why am I don't know. What is it that bad, y'all? Or y'all really
I ain't
like love
gonna.
the culture in that way to where you like, man, I gotta adhere to it. It's tradition. You gotta wear this thing, you gotta put this around your head, you gotta do that, you gotta do this. Is it that bad? Or are they just writing y'all to look bad, bro? Because that ain't no
No,
sense.
no,
If I was to meet a woman
no. They hate
that
niggas.
I'm just saying, if I was to
Yeah, they
meet a
hate niggas.
woman that is, from there, and her mom is like being extra pushy. He needs to do this. He needs to do that. And the dad is like, he needs to do this. He needs to do
Oh, they
that.
gonna
And
be on
putting that
your
kind
ass.
of pressure on me, we're not gonna work. I'm
Oh,
from Whitely World, USA. I'm from Mississippi. I'm from, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, my grandparents ain't gonna do, man, we're gonna make sure that we cook some food at the wedding, and that's about What are we doing?
Hit the cha cha, hit the right to the right to the. If you don't dance, you better be in there.
Y'all
Hey,
can, and now y'all can, if I and then y'all can do whatever traditional stuff y'all want to do. I don't mind that y'all want to do at the wedding or whatever. But man, my aunt is very upset with you because your aunt, I don't give a damn. If my aunt says something about um man, Whitney should have been done with him because you went to business school. Yes, he's a doctor and he probably got pressure
I ain't
the way
gonna.
that Hollywood writes it for him to be a doctor. He might not even want to be a damn doctor.
We might find it out later in the show. By the way, Whitney sound like a nigga when she was talking. She sound like a red pill nigga. She was hitting all them lines. Nigga, I was cooking and cleaning. I was doing what I was supposed to do. Nigga. You ain't and I cheating. That's all you got. I supposed to cheat. I'm like, what? Like, ain't this how you red pill nigga talk?
Yeah.
Like, she thought like she was cussing. Like she was hitting the F word in the
You
church.
did
I'm like,
every
oh.
I mean, she did do everything that he was requesting.
And to be fair to him though,
And she said I did a damn good job at it, by the way.
he did like even when his family was like hating, he did cover. So only till she cheated right before the wedding, which as we already stated, we can't be hypocrites. That we ain't going for.
I tell my family I'm getting married. All the thing they got to worry about is just y'all both just make sure y'all show up. And I'm
Uh,
talking about the bride and the groom. Y'all just make sure y'all show up. That's how my family would feel about me getting married. You and her better make sure y'all show up on the wedding day. Cause we ain't buy these tickets to come here for nothing. Or you know what I'm saying? Man, no.
yeah. Sunday was talking to the therapist, and she realized that she don't want to go that way of life. So she's like, okay, maybe I'll break up with him. So they at a restaurant the night she want to break up with him, and my man asked her to marry him because, like I said, he had no hint at all. Nothing on this show has given us that she. Every time he asked her, "You good?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm perfectly fine. Everything good." And it wasn't even like no awkward either. She'll just go doing what she was doing, and he just went to ask her to marry, and she stood there and cried and ran off. And shout out to Renee for pointing out that nigga still probably waiting while all them white folk looking at him.
Asking for more waters.
Yeah, because she said what she said was, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom." She
No,
went home.
she said I need some fresh air. And
Yeah,
her
so
ass.
she said fresher in my bed. But basically, he like, okay, she'll be back once she figured it out. And he just sitting there waiting. Renee was hilarious in this scene. By the way, this was a star scene. She was like, he probably still asking for water while the folk looking at
Mm-hmm.
that poor man.
And all they do is just, I mean, I don't want to take it to the ending right quickly, but all they do is just support each other's bullshit and hug it out. I'm sorry.
That's basically the end of the show, dude. That's the end of the episode. They was together in the
Do
bed.
you know that Renee's husband, they're gonna write it in there that he was a successful producer or manager? You know that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
She's been with Preston. She's been getting knocked down by niggas wearing ashes on their neck.
Getting that weekend feature with the dog that she pretended like was hers that was dude up the hallway.
And he gonna make it happen. And then Preston probably gonna do something, or I don't know.
You're
Either he
pressing
gonna show
tricking
his
too
true
hard.
colors. He's either gonna show his true colors, or she gonna be like, man, such and such is back in the picture, and I actually love him.
Pressing tricking way too hard, my guy. That man said, "You want to go to Cuba or Miami? It's just a first date. Any man can
Well,
take
she
you,
did come
girl."
dressed to the nines now.
She did, but I'm like, "Oh, you dressing like you going to Cuba for dinner?"
You
Like, yeah.
can't just leave. Yeah, you can. You literally can.
Listen, I don't care how rich I get. The first date ain't flying you on a private jet to Cuba to eat and then come right back. I'm not doing it. Person shot to him. I am not Joe Budden, sir.
If
We do
I had
not.
it like that,
We
but
do
that
not.
first conversation at that what's my name at that gala or whatever, or that meet and greet, it couldn't have been that fire to where he was like, man, let's just go to Miami real quick. What? But the way they was talking, they had made it happen. So she must got some fire.
Them shorts, man. Look like she had that.
She might got some fire.
That she was in them shorts. My man said, "I'll call the weekend right now."
Hey, man.
she she said, "Then you want to go to the the
Hold on.
Yankees game?"
Let's get back to this. So she been ghosting him, and then he hired some people to act like they was interested in her thing, and then he just sat up there and let her fall asleep, and then start playing music Soul Child. It was me the whole time. I invest in you. Is that what was that the point of that?
Yo, this nigga tricking too hard.
Yo, he's wilding, bro. Like she fell asleep on the couch, and his ass is up there with a meal he made. He said. None of that made sense to me. Why you make that girl sit in that apartment for hours?
He rich, he can do what he want.
Yeah, I guess. And he go and then where you been at? What? So you didn't invest her the whole time? I thought you was the light skinned couple. They never explained that.
She called him the broke nigga that was kind of cute, but he found out he was the rich nigga the whole time. I'm like, hey, at least she called you kind of cute when you the broke nigga. And by the way, she sent all this therapist while she was drunk. And she was like, how do you know this? She's like, you text your therapist all the time, Rosie O'Donnell. And she told me.
At 2:30 in the morning.
Even though you won't show up, you'll text. So I guess that's a good. Renee is hilarious. Renee was hilarious. Sondi storyline the best. Whitney is it Whitney. We going she her whole storyline is she cheated and that he won't forgive her. That's every episode.
And let's see. I mean, I thought she was gonna hook up with British man, but we forgot. Like last episode, she was like, "Nah, I can't do this. I can't get that drink with you right now." So
yeah, she gotta be forgiven, Joe.
you think she's that selfish that she will not quit? Like I'm like that. I've been like that with girls, like where I done messed up and be like, man, let me just make this right, and it ain't gonna be right until I'm back on top, and after that, I'm not interested anymore.
Pastor Burke out here. Wow, you should just forgive her.
Yeah,
I'm like what?
You forgive her. Just let it go, and then
we can
that
go
pastor
on.
was tripping.
He talked like it was so easy too. He was like, "Yeah, this is easy. Just forgive her. Everything's good." Once you
let's just work through this. No, nigga, I'm really I do not like her right now. Like I love her, but I'm so mad at her. Because you can never be more mad at somebody than when you love them. You know what I'm saying? And man, Ola's not there. His pride is crushed, and I believe in Nigeria, pride is a big thing as well, especially as a man. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, it was an interesting episode.
He got embarrassed in front of his ancestors, my nigga. Like that's ugly.
My problem with this show is I feel like all the storylines just go fast.
Too quick. We could actually delve into more of some of the other characters, but it's just
even when I'm like Sondi and Matthew's storyline, I'm like, this happening fast as shit.
They go days. Yeah, within the show, like they skip so what about you and such and such?
Like it don't hit. That's the one thing about this show. Like it don't hit that they like every time like why are you doing this so fast? Why do y'all want them to forgive him so fast? Like let us sit for a minute and then let it stew. But 30-minute show they ain't got stars ain't
because like how long was CP or how long was Preston hitting it?
That's what I'm
like from the time we got where y'all started talking to where you talking to your therapist about it. How long has this been going on?
I think they said 3 days, right?
They said three days he was there, but I don't think he hit it on the first night, right? I mean, we've known her to do that, but he had been there at least 3 days, and that's 3 days. I mean, even 3 days is a decent enough time for things to change.
Yeah, and I just wanted them to they had the scene when he was just going for cups. Like if you just showed the dude just sit on the couch with his feet up, he'd just get real comfortable in your house. I'd be like, okay, that hits more. But you don't have time for it because it's a 30-minute show. So you got this, he went and got a glass out of my thing. So now it's like, oh, he's too comfortable. I'm like, that sounds kind of weak. Because I get what Joe was saying when I said, but if, Joe, just imagine he was just sitting on the couch, turn the TV on, Just like I made a key to your house. I made a key to your apartment. You know what I'm saying?
There's definitely levels to comfortability. I believe grabbing a glass shouldn't be that crazy, but the key is crazy, especially knowing you a millionaire and you probably used to moving that way. We ain't seen not one assistant. We only seen the pilot. So as far as people that be around him, so he seemed like he's solo dolo.
And then like the thing I hated about that was the cabinet was like glass, so you could see the glass. I'm like, why wouldn't he know? Like I stopped the scene, like
As soon as you walk in the house,
you can
the
see the
kitchen
glass,
is right there.
and you can see the glass. Like, how you know my glasses is?
And then you gonna complain about grabbing my glasses, grabbing the good water, bitch? What? That do you think that's good water for a millionaire?
Bitch, I got you a weekend cameo.
I can literally take whatever water that I just bought from you and send you a year's supply worth. And you talking about drinking up all the good water. Renee ain't about to write. She might. Ain't none of them about to write. Sondi the only one that has some sense till we figured out she ain't got no sense either.
You know, I'm like, yo, so you just like you got on the podcast, you don't like to do it no more. That's essentially what happened. Like, oh, the mother back in her life, I don't like him no more. Oh, I'm doing podcasts. I don't want to even go to school no more. What? You sound like
Which
a nigga.
which 100% makes sense why Ella had to go.
Shit, I gotta get to
Because it's 29 minutes. And it's too many bitches to keep track of. No offense, y'all. I'm just speaking comedically. But it's way too many women's stories going on right now to keep track of. Ella has to go. And we bring in Ola when we can, when we think it's making sense for Whitney's development. But man, bruh, please.
And to be fair, that first one, that first season, Ella had the best storyline. Well, Sunday and Ella, but you got rid of Ella, so which kind of lead me to like why the darkest woman got kicked off the show. But we ain't getting the colorism.
The baldest one, whatever you want to call her. I mean,
the
whole show started with her getting banged out, man.
you know,
she popped the show off, and it was like, listen,
wait, no,
let you get back with your man.
The show started off with Sunday again, the first episode, and then we never seen it no more. Ella got like episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think she got in the season finale. I don't think she got it in episode 8, but every other episode.
She was getting took down, and it was like, well, we got people's attention. Now we're gonna actually give y'all storylines.
And this season, ain't nobody got.
Sondi got took down by her man. That's when that water dripped on her last week.
Oh yeah.
But that was probably the most she got a man in the real world kind of sex scene I've ever seen in my life. That's what that was given. But Renee ain't got knocked down and Whitney ain't got knocked down this whole season. We 4 episodes in, and the only person got knocked down got a man, and that was with her man at the time.
But y'all let us know how y'all feel, how y'all thinking, how everything going on.
Sorry, this was as long as the actual fucking show. Sorry.
Hey, listen, we kind of missed a week together, so we wanted to chop
We trying to give y'all 30 minutes. The 30 minutes that y'all deserve from this show, the extra 30 minutes that y'all deserve from this show. That's all. It's a lot to break down in 30 minutes.
Listen, I'm just trying to give you. If you're a beautiful woman, I'm just trying to give you 10. Okay, let's go back. Uniqo, what can I? Hey, listen.
NicoWilliams.com. Overall 99 Media. Somewhere cringing behind whatever Zelmay says at least 3 times a day. That's a corner. Yeah, that's right. I'll buy me, man.
Tomorrow, Joe gonna try to force me to say things like this, and that's it.
Yeah, so
you can find me on Friday Night Media.
Yeah, y'all
I'll be
definitely gotta
the.
tune in. I think that there's gonna be a huge blow up. Um, spoiler, spoiler alert. Probably on Make It Make Sense. I want y'all to know that it has not escaped my memory that Afro Kami 765 said that I was gawking Dragon Ball Z for the last whatever. After I said, since y'all so heavy on Bleach right now, I just wanted your opinion. How far does Bleach go in the Dragon Ball universe? Since y'all love Bleach so much. And he says the guy that's been gawking on Dragon Ball Z. So he said another disrespectful line. So expect to blow up there. And then it's gonna happen because I looked up and I was like, I'm about to cuss this nigga out. And I didn't. I just kept going. So that's probably gonna happen. Also, another reason to tune in is I'm probably gonna blow up with Monte because he doesn't like anything. So be prepared. Make sure y'all watch that. Tune in. I'm ready. I'm sure them niggas know I'm ready as well. So I'm sure they're prepared. It's all in fun and games. It's all fun and games. I do not dislike either of them, but man, sometimes we just have to have the moments for y'all to let y'all know it's genuine conversation. So
Overall, now me, I'll be that. Uniqo, do you think they know who we are yet?
after tomorrow, they're gonna know.
Well, till tomorrow, the question is,
who are these niggas?